What I got, you can't buy. It resides between my eyes. Walked through the fire, came out better on the other side. See, life's like a beach if you find the sand. And right now, I'm feeling like 100 grand.
You are listening to Inspired Insider with your host, Dr. Jeremy Weiss.
Dr. Jeremy Weiss here, founder of InspiredInsider.com, where I talk with inspirational entrepreneurs and leaders like the founders of P90X, Atari, and many more, how they overcome big challenges in life and business. Our sponsor today is Rise25.com, where entrepreneurs of 6, 7, and 8-figure businesses come together live and in person every few months to solve their biggest business challenges and leave with lifelong friendships. Chad Rubin, who's also a friend of Steve, has come to one of them. Check out Rise25.com. It's run by myself and co-founder John Corcoran, and it's application only. Today, I'm excited. We have Steve Weiss. He's CEO and co-founder of Mutesix. In just under 3 years, they've built a team of over 20 people, and their company uses online advertising like Facebook and Google Ads for e-commerce customer acquisition. They help build high-volume lead generation funnels. Basically, they help get businesses more customers. That's what everyone wants, right, Steve? They have worked with right. They worked with brands and companies like MeUndies, USA Today, Headspace, and many more. Steve, thanks for joining me.
Hey, thanks for having me.
I mean, you probably tell people up front, don't expect this, right? So what should they expect for a low-ticket e-commerce product as far as a positive return? At what point should they look at getting a positive return compared to, I mean, the first purchase seems like the golden gem out there.
There's not everyone is not going to be a pre-heels. Everyone's not going to be
for sure. What's normal? Like when you educate someone, like here's what you should expect for this low-ticket e-commerce.
I really I'm one of those guys that just loves breaking down the process to people who've never marketed on Facebook before. I want to create an educated person at the other end of the line. So what I like to say is, let's set KPIs or key performance indicators into our goals around specific audiences. Like I know that your we know right away remarketing will probably work. We know that we could probably spend $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a month profitably. Pretty confident we could do that on Facebook. Now the question is with most brands, everyone wants to spend a lot of money and also get a return.
Right. I don't just want to spend a lot of money. I want to get a return.
No one wants to spend money and not get a return. So everyone's like, yeah, well, that's great that you got me profitable at $20K a month. And well, how can you get me profitable at $100K a month? How can you get me profitable at $200K a month? So the key that I always like to say is I'm a big believer in managing expectations. So I'm like, most likely, you'll see some wins. If you have a decent product and you already have an audience to your website, you'll see some wins pretty quickly. But again, the true goal is how do we scale your product, and how do we generate new customers at scale? Yeah.
I mean, for that customer or that person you're kind of educating, it's not normal to get their first purchase as a positive ROI. So do you tell them, don't expect this, but when we remarket it, that's when you should expect? Or do they have to be remarketed, then shopping cart abandoned, and that, what point is it normal for someone to get a positive return?
Well, sadly, there's no recipe for success. I think that you hire...
You have it at Mutesix, come on.
You hire a team like us to figure out what that recipe is, and I think at the end of the day, every single product, whether you're doing lead gen or e-commerce or mobile apps, every single product has its own kind of path to success. And we're going to figure out how many impressions or how many touch points that user is going to need before they make a conversion. We're going to figure out which audience segmentation is going to drive the highest engage rate, which audience is going to generate the highest ROI, post-engagement rate, which audience is going to drive the biggest ROAS. I mean, there's so many elements that go into this that we want to not only figure out all these paths to success, but we also want to whoever we work with, we want them to be in the weeds, and we want to educate them in terms of what we're doing and how we're doing it.
Yeah, I'll ask you an easier question, Steve. This one's easier. Biggest mistake, because you probably go in and people are trying Facebook ads or never. Maybe they have, maybe they haven't. But what's the biggest mistakes you see people making on Facebook for e-commerce specifically?
The biggest mistake.
Like you go in, you're like, why are you even doing this? You're burning money.
Do you want very granular, or do you want high level?
Start with granular. I want to hear what.
All right. So the biggest mistake.
Yeah.
A lot of companies are not excluding audience network in their ads.
Okay.
So Facebook will optimize your placement around the placement that's getting the highest click-through rate or the highest possible rate to a conversion. And they charge you a specific amount of money to find the customer that's most likely to do the action you want.
Yeah.
Well, when you create an ad in Ads Manager Power Editor, they default to serving your ad on Audience Network. And I always suggest...
You're like, there's a lot of, I know, industry terminology, but basically they're going to serve your ad to people who are clicking the most because they're finding it relevant, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
In a way, that's the case. And a lot of people don't turn off Audience Network. Audience Network is Facebook.
Which may not be a fit. Like to buy the product, but they are clicking.
Well,
it.
The inventory is not good. The inventory is not as good as Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
The Audience Network is the Facebook ad network. So Audience Network is Facebook ads that live on other third-party websites.
Yeah. So if people are confused, you can look it up. But keep going.
Yeah. So like you have to turn off Audience Network.
Okay.
Just turn it off. And in most cases, when you turn it off, you'll see your conversion rate will go up because you're getting a lot better inventory on Facebook, and you're not getting that inventory unless you turn off Audience Network.
So turn off Audience Network. What else? What are other big mistakes are people making?
The other big mistakes is they're not segmenting their audiences. They're serving the same free ad or discount ad to people that are already customers of their brand.
Bad.
You need to exclude all your customers on your prospecting campaigns. Whenever you're looking or hunting for new customers, exclude your current customers or you will piss them off.
Right. Right.
That's a huge mistake I see. Like, don't give away stuff for free to someone who's already spent
I already bought this, and then now you're giving it away to discount to other people.
Yeah, that's not going to, get anyone to be your friend,
So segmenting is a big problem. People aren't segmenting.
No, yeah, a lot of people are segmenting. Add to cart. You're sending a lot of people to your add to cart, and you're not actually building an audience around add to cart. You should be building an audience around add to cart, and then driving specific ads to people who've been banned.
Mm-hmm. Any other big mistakes you see people making out there?
Let's see. Something I would say email.
Email? What do you mean?
I would say people are not using Facebook to gather emails. I wouldn't say it's a mistake, but I would say that Facebook is a great source to drum up, your own audience data. And I think that people aren't leveraging lead ads to the power that it is. Lead ads is a very powerful system that we've had a ton of success with, and I think
ads where people click and then they subscribe type of thing.
Yeah, so lead ads allows you to create a lead capture window inside of your ads without leaving Facebook. It's only on mobile, so I would say that you should do that. Totally do lead ads. Another thing that I suggest is creating different ads for Instagram. I see a lot of people using the same exact Facebook ads also on Instagram.
Really?
Instagram's a different user, so I'd say creating a different user experience for Instagram.
Yeah.
Another thing is a huge mistake is people don't reply to comments.
They don't reply to comments?
Yeah, negative. Yeah, you have to reply to all the comments on your ads.
Oh, I see. So people neglect the people who are actually commenting and engaged.
Yeah, they don't say a word. Yep. So whoever's managing your page, I say definitely
get in there. Yeah, you've already paid for them. Yeah, you might as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Those are the main things.
Headspace worked well when you did Headspace, right? With lead, was that lead?
Yeah, we worked with them when they first started out. It's about 3 years ago.
Yeah, and they're big.
They were very, very brand conscious. They create amazing content. And they really were really interested in their customer. They really did a lot to nurture this customer through their Headspace process.
Yeah.
Do you meditate?
No, but I've heard of Headspace.
Yeah, I use.
Do you meditate?
I use the app every morning. And
really?
Yeah, I'm a big believer that to market something, you got to be a user of the product. You got to you're into something, you got to use it. You got to be, you just got to go all the way in. And
Yeah,
I've
I
been
totally picture you with like the women's razors, just testing. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, man. All my pink razors all over my bathroom. That's but
So the Headspace, the new subscriber, is that what worked well for them? The lead ads,
yeah.
that type of
So
thing.
we did a lot of exclusions. So we exclude all their current customers from
Okay.
all of our ads, and we had different ads that brought people in. 6 session trial, and then we'd have another set of ads that would go from free trialist to paid user. That was like early on with Facebook. 2-3 years ago, like Facebook did not look and feel like it is today from an ad perspective. So a lot of the tools that we would use today, like dynamic product ads and some carousel ads, like a lot of that didn't exist.
Wasn't even available.
Yeah.
What are some software tools people should consider using with Facebook, whether it's retargeting or tracking for e-commerce? What are some ones that you recommend?
Ooh, that's a good question.
People always like software and tools lists to look them up. So where should we send them?
If you wanted, and I know a lot of people use Smartly.io. That's for like very large budgets.
Okay.
We don't use that in house, but I think they have a really good tool set.
Okay.
They built on top of Facebook. That's Smartly.io.
Okay.
What else? Looker, Looker. They do LTV and attribution, so they're a really good tool if you really want to understand the LTV on your
that's
on
huge.
your ad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looker is a really, really cool tool. Like, let's say you capture an email address off an ad, and that email then purchases, and you want to assign a dollar value from that purchase all the way back up to the ad.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Looker is a really good tool for that we've worked with in the past. Mobile. I mean, if you have a mobile app for mobile app attribution, we've used. I think we've used Coachava in the past, and we've also used Has Offers. Those are tools that are really good for attribution, where you want to attribute an install or a conversion all the way back up the funnel, back to the Facebook ad.
Yeah.
And what else do we use? Those are the three that.
Anything personally that you like to use, just for like productivity or just to manage the business, because you have over 20 staff that you have to manage, and your personal life and the business. What do you like to use? Just software tools, or apps or something?
I use Apple Notes. Apple Notes controls my day.
Really? Okay.
I know that sounds crazy, but Apple Notes. I use Headspace. Headspace is my meditation app. I use Runkeeper to track all my runs. I like going out running. What else do I use? I use Body. What is this thing called? Hold on a second. Bodybuilding.com. I use their app for different types of workouts. Let's see. I'm just looking at some of my biggest apps for productivity. That's pretty much it. I mean,
Steve, I could talk to you all day. I know you have a couple meetings you have to get to.
Yeah.
So what should we leave people with for Mutesix? I mean, obviously we've talked a lot about the different successful campaigns and some of the mistakes. What else should people know about Mutesix and what you do over there?
Yeah, so I'm a big believer in empowering people to become better entrepreneurs. Like I'm on a mission to share like all my learnings and information that I've taken from running so many campaigns. So I encourage like anyone to like reach out to me directly if you have any questions about how to leverage Facebook as a platform. I also have a deep experience in email marketing and drip marketing, as well as obviously Google AdWords and anything Google related as far as ads.
Yeah.
So I think that like without working with us, directly, if you just have any questions, you just wanted some insight on a specific topic, I always say just reach out to us, because there's gonna be something that I might need to learn from you. I think we all have a unique skill set and something unique we bring to the table.
Yeah, that's very generous of you, Steve. So people should check out Mutesix.com, right? Mutesix.com. Anywhere else we should send people online?
We have a podcast called $10,000 10K a day podcast.
Yeah.
That's on our website.
That's
so
good.
It's
short but sweet.
Yeah, it's so we do about 2 podcasts a week on everything Facebook ads, e-commerce, customer acquisition related. So anything new that comes out, we talk about it on our podcast. We dive into it. we have our blog, which gets, we produce 2 or 3 new content pieces a week. And I also just have a personal blog that I blog on some more like personal issues, and that's StephenJWeiss.com.
Yeah.
And if you want to get to know me on a personal level, that's pretty much my personal blog. And Mutesix.
It gets personal. It gets real personal. Actually.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think that the more you share, the more you trust people, and I think the more you trust people, people will trust you.
Why Mutesix?
I never set out to start an agency, and I always thought I did not want to be called like something media or something internet marketing this, and I was like, I want to be something unique that people like, kind of ask, what does that mean? And like I found out there's a solar system, so I looked up to space. I'm like, there's got to be a name of some solar system that oodles away, and there's a solar system I found called Mute. That's just the name was Mute. And I know it doesn't sound like an agency name because you want to be loud, and I'm not actually, but in the solar system there was 6 planets. So I put the 2 together. It was called Mutesix.
All right, love it. Steve, thank you. I'm going to be the first one to thank you so much for your time, knowledge. Everyone should check out Mutesix.com. Fantastic, Steve. Appreciate it.
Yep. Thanks, man. We'll talk soon, Jeremy.
What I got, you can't buy. It resides between my eyes. Walked through the fire, came out better on the other side. See, life's like a beach if you find the sand. And right now, I feel like $100 grand.